of branches and trees flying in the air. We're now getting film of it, and there's just no way at all that anybody could fake that.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick, because I had some emails, and I just want you to speak to it, okay?
Right.
I had some emails, and some people said, the way that this guy sees faces and everything in his pictures, there's actually a disorder called, what is it called, pareidolia or something like that, which they say is a disorder where people see patterns of faces in everything. So I just wanted you to speak to why that's not you.
Pareidolia, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that. That's the very first thing. One of the very first things I researched, back a year and a half ago, is this pareidolia? In fact, I was convinced that it was pareidolia for the first 6 months of my research. But you have to look at, okay, if you really look and research pareidolia and what it is, and then they give you examples of what pareidolia is, and then what I'm giving you, there's no way that you can say, oh yeah, there's two rocks and that look like an eye, and there's another rock looks like a nose, and there's a rock, there's a crack or something in the rock that makes it look like a face, or there's pareidolia is not a disorder. It's actually just what they say, what you see, which naturally, right? In other words, you could say, looking at, if you have a garden, and you could look at the way the leaves are folded, and it makes it look like there's two eyes and a nose and all that kind of stuff.
Or the way the folds in a purse sit at, it looks like a face in the purse, that kind of thing. You see pictures of that.
If anybody says that I got a problem with pareidolia, they haven't been watching my videos, because I've given you hundreds of images at this point. Hundreds. If you can't see what everybody else can see, all I can say is you're not trying too hard. Yeah. You can do this yourself. It doesn't take a genius to do this. I will show you how to do it. I can tell you right now how to do it.
I heard somebody call into a talk show one time talking about dollar bills. Okay, you get a stack of dollar bills, say about 10 of them, and you look. You can look at them, and if you look in the area right next to George Washington's face, you can see demonic faces, like maybe 2 out of 10. And I did that, and I saw some crazy stuff.
Huh?
And I haven't done it in a while, but I remember when I first heard about that, I just kept looking for it every time I got a dollar bill in my hand, and I was like, okay, does this one have one? And it had, I have no clue. What?
Well, if you want to know if what I'm doing is legit, this is all you have to do. It's as simple as this: get yourself a camera, start taking pictures around the edges of woods or in your park, etc. Take pictures from behind you, to the side. Take pictures, and then you're going to look in where the dark areas are, the shaded areas, and you're going to start to see things there. Eventually, you're going to start to see what is actually in those shaded areas, and you'll see eyes and a nose and a mouth and whatever, and you'll also notice that leaves and branches aren't contributing very much to it. So, I mean, this is something that can be proven or disproven by anybody. That's the great thing about what I've been doing. It's like anybody can do what I'm doing. You don't have to be have an IQ of 150 to do this. You know what I mean? You can have an IQ of 90 and do this. So I mean, it's pretty foolproof at this point, as far as what I'm doing, whatever, and everybody else is doing as well.
It begs the question, though, right? So, I'll just read this real quick. It says, pareidolia is the science behind seeing faces in everyday objects. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon that causes people to see patterns in a random stimulus. This often leads to people assigning human characteristics to objects. Usually this is simplified to people seeing faces in objects.
Stop. Human characteristics to what? Objects. I'm not telling you that, am I? I'm saying that what you see is not the contribution to the leaves or the branches.
Right.
Okay. This is, and you can see it for yourself. I mean, all I can say is, what more can a guy do in my position? Except, I just keep on giving you more and more images and more videos and more. But at some point, you're going to have to accept the fact that we're not dealing with pareidolia, or
but
not.
What if people that have been diagnosed with pareidolia are really seeing stuff that's there? Huh? What if they're just more sensitive? And pareidolia is just a way to say that dude's he's onto it. Huh? What about that? That's a possibility.
Well, that's what I figured out about a year ago. I just like, it's kind of like a conspiracy theorist. It's like one of these tag phrases that they throw out there to keep people from looking any further and making, oh, I must be seeing things. I must be going crazy that I'm seeing. By the way, I had to go through the same thing like everybody else, this cognitive dissonance thing. God, what's going on here? I know I'm not crazy. Why am I finding these things in photographs and in film that I do? Why it's not just me? It's other people finding it too. What's going on here? So yeah, I mean, it's a great way to just discredit it all together. But last time we talked too, I was getting ready to do a film exposing the Patterson film, and then I proved in that short film multiple entities in there. And if you want to call that pareidolia, you're going to have to back that statement up. People, you're going to have to back that statement up. It's easy to just dismiss somebody and say, "Oh, that's pareidolia."
We need to make
But when I ask people to prove that, I say, "Prove it to me that it's pareidolia." Nothing, because in the end, what happens is they can't prove it to you that it's pareidolia.
What is it? That movie Bruce Willis, Sixth Sense, where that kid could see dead people. I see dead people. Well, we could make like Tom. We need to get on this. We need to make a seventh sense shirt, and it says "I see Bigfoot." It would sell like crazy. That would be the seventh sense, being able to see Bigfoot.
But if I am right about this is important stuff. This is extremely important stuff. This is not even stuff that really. I mean,
well, because what you're highlighting, this is spiritual warfare. I mean, that's why it's important. It's the spiritual warfare. It backs up what you guys are doing. It says, you know what? These guys they're not making it up either. I mean, we're documenting it. We're filming this stuff one way or the other. I mean, there's a video, if you go back just maybe 10 back, where Dr. Erica Shepard is. They're working on a soul tracker, which is using all the technology that we have today. That during deliverance, you can actually track the demons coming out of the people. And I actually break down a video that she did and actually find more demonic entities than they saw. And you can look at that. So, I mean, it's not like we're just making this all up, or there's just yeah. It's a fair question about pareidolia, but you know what? The thing is, it's like everything else. It's like conspiracy theorists. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist because he believes that 9/11 was an inside job, and that's just to shut you down. It's just to shut you up. Pareidolia is the same way. When you look at the images that they actually present to you of what pareidolia is, and then you look at my images, they're not the same thing. Pareidolia, they'll have like, two rocks, a rock that looks like a face type of thing. You know what I mean? Where we're showing for people that want to see your images, tell them where they can go see them again, like all your stuff, your YouTube channel, all that. Well, at this point, since in 10 months, I have so many videos and so much has transpired. But it's Old Religion, Dystopia, Knowing versus Belief, and I welcome anybody that give honest criticism and an honest challenge it. But just to carte blanche to say it's pareidolia, and you know what? And then you can't even prove to me that it is pareidolia. All you can just regurgitate something that you read and Google. And come on, if I'm putting thousands of hours into this, at least put 2 hours into yours, just discrediting
me. You know what I mean? I'd be more than happy to be wrong. I'd move on. You know what I mean? So anyway, so it's All Religion Dystopia, Knowing versus Belief is the video, is the YouTube channel. And then, you can find me through there as far as you want to email me or you want to talk to me. And I expect a lot of, I mean, at this stage, gentlemen, I mean, let's be honest, there's like nobody's taking, this is tragic, is nobody's taking it seriously outside of a handful of other brothers and sisters in Christ. No one's taking it seriously.
Well, that's why we like having you on, man. I mean, I love going full fringe. Josh Perkey in here said, I just jumped in on this. They went fringe tonight. We went full fringe tonight, but I love it. I love it. And Michael, we can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out with us and just like
but we can back
talking
up
about this stuff.
We can back up our fringe stuff. It's not just drawings and sketchings and like words on paper. We can actually back it up.
Yeah. Old Religion Dystopia. That's the name of your channel, right?
Right. And then it go once again, Old Religion Dystopia. And then why is it important to pay attention to what I'm doing is because it confirms what Distar is doing and everybody else is doing. They might not agree fully with what I'm presenting, but I'm giving the best that I can of the solid evidence that one can at this point of the reality of the spiritual warfare that we're in. Yeah, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not even close to being a joke. And if people think it's a joke, I mean, these are the things that are causing you all the suffering and pain, and it's just really, it needs to be taken a lot more serious than it is. And unfortunately, we are so disconnected from reality at this point. Well, most people think reality is what they just watched on the television, and none of that was real. That was people sitting on stage, barfing out stuff. You know what I mean? So,
in the words of our good friend L.A. Marzulli, if you do see a Bigfoot, rebuke first and ask questions later. If you're dealing with a alien spaceship or a gray or a Bigfoot, you're having a demonic encounter. Exactly. And it's what we talk about on this show. Be prepared. Train yourself. Be ready. Everywhere, Jesus sent the disciples, they were blown away like, hey, even the demons submit to us in your name. And he was talking to us too. As believers in Christ, we have that same authority. And the Bigfoot phenomena is all the rage right now, and the world is looking for answers. And if we don't have an answer, then people are going to go back to the world, or they're going to go somewhere else. But we do have the answer. So anyway, guys, throughtheblack.com is the website where you can find all of our junk on. Man, it's good to see you again. It was good to meet you in person, Mike.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, gentlemen. Have to come back on my show and promote. I know you mentioned earlier today, Tom, about having folks promote you and what you guys are doing. So I'm there if you want.
Dude, yes, definitely do. Definitely do. Let's make it happen.
Have you had a chance to see This Is a War yet, Mike?
I haven't, but I'll
send you a link. I'll say if you haven't seen it, I'll just send you a link. You can watch it. So.
Okay. Well. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I'll send you a link. You can watch it. We'll come on your show. We'll hang out for an hour. It'll be a good time. So.
Awesome.
All right, dude. Thanks for everybody hanging out with us. Thanks for going full fringe with us on this beautiful Monday night. There will be plenty more fringe and craziness coming on this channel. There's some surprises coming on this channel, something that may not be expected by some people. But Tom's heading that up. And when is that reveal going to happen?
Soon.
A couple weeks from now? Soon?
At the most.
I'm getting a lot of messages about coffee cups. Are those on the website yet?
They will be.
Okay. We got stuff coming. Check out the website. Thanks for hanging out with us.